This is Newcap News with Mike Baden.
The annual comedy cabaret was held last night, and a lot of laughs were shared to raise money for the Lloydminster and District SPCA. Elise Cox has more.
We're here for the SPCA, people. SPCA, okay?
The comedy cabaret brought back some familiar faces.
It's for the SPCA fundraiser that I got to be a part of last year, and was an awesome time, and I'm excited to be back.
And a new comedic improv group to the border city.
Right, there it is.
The Lloydminster.
Lloydminster.
Not Lloydminster, it's Lloydminster.
But even as first-time guests, they were committed to the cause.
There's some drinking, there's some shooting, a little bit of gambling, and it's all in a good cause to save some animals' lives. So
yeah, it's more than that. It's more than just
You're right.
That. Yeah,
You're right.
It's a fundraiser for the Lloydminster SPCA.
We rely on fundraisers and donations to cover over 80% of our operational costs. So a fundraiser such as this is hugely important for us, and it's a necessity for us to keep our doors open.
And all proceeds raised go to their medical costs.
That goes to help with things like vaccinations for the animals, spaying and neuter surgeries, if the animals come in and they need emergency medical care.
A well-worthy cause to support, especially when the entertainment is good.
I think you were done with that whole peeing your pants thing when you were a kid. Well, think again.
Oh my God, what can they not expect from me?
And you have a soft spot for animals.
Big time. I'm a huge animal lover.
I just carry mine with me here. It's just...
The stockade sold out for the event with an attendance of over 600 people. And as the event gets bigger, everyone keeps wanting to come back.
Hopefully they'll have me back every year, and I'll just do the same act over and over again, and people will just go, "You're gonna love this one," because they'll know it, and that's the goal. So.
But all jokes aside, the event was the biggest the SPCA has held so far, with funds raised through ticket sales and a silent auction. Elise Cox, Newcap News.
Alberta musicians Jen Beaupre and Louis Frere visited the Vic Juba last night to showcase their gifted pipes, accompanied by piano, guitar, and a little comedy. Carrie McCullough has more.
Jen Beaupre has been singing and composing music since a young age. Anyone who is taking in a performance of hers is in for a mix of music that will keep your eyes and ears glued to the stage.
Well, I'm a singer-songwriter, so I've been writing songs since I was about 15 or 16 years old, so they will get to hear some originals back from that era, as well as I'm composing a new record currently, so a few of the new ones that nobody's heard yet.
Guitarist and singer Louis Frere is accompanying Beaupre on this tour, and he guarantees you will be entertained in more ways than one.
You're going to get Jen and I doing some duets, piano, guitar, 2 vocals. You're going to get some of my goofy stuff. I love doing comedy stuff. And you're going to have a howl over that. So I love doing shows with Jen. I have a riot.
Beaupre and Frere take into account the audience's feedback and have broadened the genres of music they play thanks to multiple requests.
We've learned, touring through Alberta, that people love to hear a little country, which I don't typically do. So we tried to rustle up a little country for tonight.
One thing that has really impressed these two is the Vic Juba. To musicians like them, a great venue makes all the difference.
This theater is unbelievable. I hope this community embraces, understands, and appreciates.
It is top notch.
Carrie McCullough, Newcap News.
Last night, 2 cultures meshed together. A Greek-German band known as Sea and Air hit the stage at the Root to show off their culture and creative style of music. Alini is in charge of the rhythm, while Daniel brings the culture and over 3 centuries of German-style music. 2 things that make them who they are.
Like, I was always playing music as long as I could think. She was always dancing as long as she could think, and at a certain point I felt like my melody needs more rhythm, and that's how we got together.
The 2 currently are on a cross-Canada tour and say that fans should expect the unexpected.
Like, we're playing lots of instruments at the same time, so that's kind of like a circus artistic thing a little bit.
Last year, the singing duo had a 45-set tour mapped out across North America, but hit a bump in the road when they couldn't get visas to play in the U.S. So this year, they chose to go with an all-Canadian tour.
We decided, you know, who needs the USA? We anyways rather go to Canada because it feels more like it connects with us, so here we are.
The next stop on the trip is Regina. Elise joins us for a quick look at weather, and Elise, it was a gusty, windy day out there.
Yeah, it didn't start off that way early in the morning, but that's when we had the rain. As soon as that rain went away, though, those winds sure picked up. Right now in Lloydminster, though, we are sitting at 1 degree. Winds coming in from the west at 41 kilometers per hour, gusting to 55. And in the Lakeland region right now, they are receiving a little bit of snow. They are still in there. They do actually have their snowfall warning in effect still. They're sitting at 1 degree and 5 and cloudy in the Battlefords. I'll have more on your local forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Coming up after the break, for the second time in a matter of days, the leader of the Alberta PCs is admitting her party is in the wrong. Emmett joins us on the desk for our first look at sports. And Emmett, like we said yesterday, hockey's still around, but is it finally wrapping up now?
Almost over. The senior AAA season wrapped up this weekend in Vermilion. The Dewberry Mustangs played host to provincials, trying to win a title at home. The Mustangs lost their first game, which bumped them to the A division, where they faced the Blackfoot Miners. First period, staying on the power play. Chris Romanchuk dishes the puck in front. Captain Kurt Bensmiller buries the opportunity, 1-0 for the host. But the other way, the Miners showing some fancy stick work to get it in front, but can't put the biscuit in the basket. A couple minutes later, Mike Whitequill somehow dangles the D, but can't beat Justin Botel. With the Stangs on another power play, tied 1-1, Brad Noble corrals the bouncing puck, Dewberry up 2-1 after 1. And that gets them rolling. Romanchuk gets a clear break and makes no mistake. Then the Miners have trouble clearing their own end. Devin Moneta capitalizes on the giveaway, but Dewberry would give one away minutes later. 2-on-1 opportunity for Whitequill again, and this time he'll beat the D, but again he can't solve Botel. Stangs up 4-2 halfway through 2 when Romanchuk will pot his second of the night to advance to the finals. Stangs win 8-5, but this following play is what everyone is talking about. Catlin, big snake, runs over Botel. Very cheap hit on the goalie, and afterwards, he wants to fight anyone and everyone in sight. He even would skate to the Mustangs bench and challenge the entire team. No takers. With the win, the Mustangs would have a rematch of their league finals against the Two Hills Longhorns for the provincial A title. And the finals started in the same way. The semis ended rough. Brad Noble is knocked over in the crease, starts a scrum. Then Tyson Knight is wallpapered to the board, so Kevin Smith follows it up with a nasty hit on the end boards. And yet another scrum ensues. The players would eventually get to playing some hockey. 10 minutes in, it's Shane Cusack who takes the Romanchuk pass and stuffs it in the net. Then, with the score tied 2-2, from the same position, Mitch Walker can't score, but Devin Moneta pulls a sweet deke to put Dewberry ahead. Following that up, though, sloppy D-work sends the Longhorns on a clear break. Travis Wadzia scores, all tied up with 6 minutes to play. A little gloating in front of the fans, too. But this game won't need overtime. Tyson Knight makes the D look silly, scoring with 3 minutes left. That's your game winner. The Mustangs would add an empty netter to win the provincial title 5-3.
Went third, they just kind of got their heads back into it. The second game, they were kind of falling apart again, like we've done so many times this year. And you know, once they take a deep breath and think about it, I mean, they can play hockey, and they did it. They showed it again today.
We just stuck to our game plan. I mean, we were out shooting them most of the game, and we just kept throwing the pucks at the net until they finally went in.
And there's less than a month until the lacrosse season begins. The Wheatland Extreme have nearly finalized their roster and are excited about this year's potential.
In their first year in Tier 2 Junior B, the Extreme had a surprisingly strong season.
We went all year winning games, but not by much. We'd win by a point here or a couple points there. And so, it wasn't like we were running away with the league, but we just seemed to find our way out of every game at the right time, at the end of the game.
But that timely scoring faded in the playoffs.
And I think things leveled out a bit, and at the end, when we needed that last point in the game, we couldn't come up with it. But
with just 4 of last year's players off the roster and a good crop of midgets coming up, the Extreme feel that third place just won't cut it this year.
I hope first at the top, that'd be sweet. We got a couple new players, a guy from Grand Prairie, which is pretty good. The team's pretty good, good goaltending. I think we'll be pretty good.
I think this year we got just probably just a little bit better talent to overall average, and so we'll probably do just as well, if not a little bit better.
The team knows it has the offense to compete again, so they are spending practices dedicated to the back end.
All right, now just defense, because we got the scoring down pat. We just need to play more better D and we'll be good.
We're going to put a little bit more energy into trying to tighten up our back end and get our defense a little bit more solid, and see if we can't help our goalie out a little bit more. Maybe we were leaving it all up to him in a lot of cases last year.
The Extreme begin their season at home April 29th against the Edmonton Blues.
And that's your first look at Newcap Sports. Stay tuned for more news and weather after the break. Across Canada, there are more than 200,000 high school students in track and field. This year, for the first time ever, the best of these athletes will get the chance to compete against each other on a national stage. A dozen local phenoms will be a part of that trip.
Over 250 students from across Canada are headed to Toronto this May for the first ever Nike High School Grand Prix. Alberta's 25-person team has plenty of area talent, with nearly half the squad coming from Glendon School.
I'm really excited. It's actually my last thing that I'll be able to do in high school sports, so I'm pretty excited to go. Going to Toronto will probably let me see quite a few really good athletes, so it'll be really interesting.
Seeing all the other athletes out there and how good they are and what I should expect if I ever want to compete at that level.
The event's sponsor, Nike, will give the kids athletic wear for the meet and has also brought in world champion sprinters Perdita Felician and Priscilla Lope-Schleep to talk to the competitors.
The dedication, the hard work that they had to go through, it's only going to make things better for them for the rest of their lives.
The teens are already showing serious dedication in preparation for the meet.
We do all kinds of different exercises, work out 4 times a week, after school, sometimes in the morning, it's all the time.
I'm hoping for this large group of grade 10s that I have will instill a huge work ethic in them for all the sports that they do for our school. And we're going to have an incredible run, I think, over the next few years.
For an extended look at the work Glendon School is doing for the Nike High School Grand Prix, watch Around the Region this Thursday at 7:30 on CITL TV.
But pretty amazing, but that is all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
Good night.
Wardrobe consultations and clothing provided by Cliff Rose for Clothes.